Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Chris, and today I wanted to talk about a few different things, other than just precious metals. Although, again, we all love precious metals. Today I wanted to talk about some things I was listening to and just a few things going on. So I was actually listening to some clips from Steve Jobs. They had a few questions for him about like Apple in the early 2000s, or actually mid 2000s, when Apple was starting to take over market share. They were becoming the next big thing. And somebody asked him about a question about Apple and technology. The guy asked him why Apple wasn't pursuing, the best technology, and instead was going down another path. So basically, what Steve Jobs said was that it isn't necessarily about what's the best technology, because the best technology isn't necessarily what the consumer is going to buy or use. It's more about what are you going to sell to the client and what's the client going to buy. And that's actually really interesting because it's true. There are a lot of things, people get really passionate about a lot of different things. And because of that, it makes it hard to know what the right thing to purchase is, because there are people that are so passionate about certain things and they can tell you exactly why a certain thing is the best, or why they think it's so great, what its features are, what its potential is, and that's important, obviously, but at the end of the day, it really isn't everything. And that's something that Steve Jobs himself said. He said that he had been guilty of that as well, of being getting caught up in what the best of something is. And I thought about that, and I was thinking, in this environment, like I talked about many times, people are very caught up about finding what's going to be the next big thing. In a time like this, where it seems like everything is the next best thing because people are throwing money at so many different things, it's really hard to know. Not only that, there are so many different things that could be the next big thing that there's no way that you could do, enough research or really wrap your head around something to make a very informed decision. It's so funny because, like, when you think about like for example, the Reddit crowd, Wall Street silver, Wall Street bets, blah, blah, blah. They're always talking about doing your due diligence. And I always laugh because we all know that no one does their due diligence. I mean, very few people, first of all, like, even know what that means. Second of all, have the time to really invest in doing the so-called due diligence. So, you listen to someone else, they make a convincing argument, and, you're on board. You're like, you know what, that sounds good. I'm going to put some money in that. And, sometimes you make some money, but most of the time, most people lose money. So it's difficult. And you can't blame people. But one of the things, like, I really believe in is that there are certain things that everybody knows about. If you've ever worked, for example, in any type of customer service or retail or anything like that, you deal with people constantly. And, you can learn a lot from these people. They work in different fields, they do different things, they know different things than you do. So if you're a sponge and picking up that knowledge from them, you can really make some money or put yourself in a good position career-wise. So many different things that you can learn. Even your colleagues. I don't think a lot of people take the time to really understand their colleagues because, we're brought up with a certain level of, privacy and respect to other people's privacy. Don't pry. But there's so much information and knowledge to be gained from getting to know other people and understanding that, hey, they're good at things that you're not. And you may be good at things that they're not. So you can really share and build each other up. I think that's one of the things, about, for example, YouTube, that it's a very good platform for building others up, for helping other people understand, certain things. Again, everything on YouTube, you have to take it with a grain of salt because, you don't know the person who's trying to educate you on a particular subject. You have no idea whether they know what they're talking about. You just can't. So because of that, it doesn't mean that you can't take some knowledge from it, or at least perspective. Perspective is just as important as knowledge, because perspective can give you that moment of caution to really stop you from making mistakes. But again, even mistakes are part of learning, a part of growing, a part of being better. And so in this time, like even for like stacking or things like that, everybody has their own opinion on what's the best way to do it, what's important, what's not important. But the fact that you listen to so many different people and kind of, gain an understanding of what being a stacker entails, whether you're a prepper stacker, a collector, whatever the case is, a little bit of everything. Learning is just so important. And this environment, like while we're going through this, like I feel like a lot of people are very overwhelmed with everything going on. But the reality is that there's so much to be learned right now if you can really take the time to absorb it. And I don't think a lot of people are. I think a lot of people are overwhelmed and just, trying to grind through it. And I don't blame you. I mean, we all feel that way sometimes. But if you can really wrap your head around a lot of the things that are going on right now, I really think like for the rest of your life, you can use this as a reference point to understand, to really ask yourself, what was I thinking? What was I going through? What was I feeling at that time? And it can really be a benefit. So times like this, like I said, like I really keep trying to understand, why people are throwing money at so many different things, trying to see what sticks. And to me, it just comes off as a sense of desperation. Like, it's like you want to reinvent yourself. You want to get back the time you lost from this whole situation that we've all just come through. Hopefully we're on the back end, but who knows? And so it's important to try and gain perspective and understand and just really analyze yourself and take the time for yourself, because at the end of the day, like the only thing you're not going to get back is the time. You have no idea, like as far as money and things like that can come to you very easily. It can also be taken from you very easily, but time is the one thing you're not going to get back. And if you really squander that, there's just no substitute for that. So I really think it's important, in a time like this, to just be learning, be appreciating the time that you have, be appreciating like the little things. Again, every day is different. It's pretty crazy because it's so easy to get lost and kind of just you're making it to the next day or the next week or the next cool thing that you're gonna do, the next paycheck, whatever it is, the next unboxing. But you're not appreciating the time that the everyday time, the little few minutes that you have to yourself to sit down, look around, and just relax your brain. And those things are important, So I just wanted to touch on that and just, everybody goes through those times. I've seen I just saw the video earlier. I forget which channel it was, but that his mom was, very sick in the hospital. And, it was basically, really hitting him. No, those are things you can't control. And those are things that we're all going to go through, maybe not that, but just things like that. So take the time and don't be afraid to ask people for help or guidance or, whatever it is you need, even if it's just a laugh. A lot of people, when you're feeling down, if somebody makes you laugh, it really can change your day. It can change your perspective. And look for other people that may be going through stuff so that you can be the one that gives that to them. Because again, we're all here, we're all part of the greater community, and those things are important. All right, that's it for today. I hope you're having a great evening, and I hope you have a great weekend. Take care.